what was sort of your strength that enabled you to see beyond the limitations that you were given? And maybe you'd like to share what they were.
Yeah, exactly. So, I had a great career in the military, as you mentioned, and then I developed this disease called retinitis pigmentosa, which caused me to become legally blind. I have tunnel vision, and it totally disrupted my career and plunged me into a place where I couldn't afford to support myself. I think one of the things that kept me motivated was that I had already had a glimpse at what a good life looked like in those first 10, 11 years. And I even find now when I'm trying to encourage my child to look toward the future, I'll paint her an image, forward pacing and say, this is what it's going to be like. Let's work toward it. It doesn't mean that there were days when I really didn't want to work this hard.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I said, you were human, and you have a daughter, and so you had more responsibility than just yourself, obviously. And so you were able to pass on to her some of those things that you were managing for yourself so that she too would be able to see that better days were ahead. Did you find at any point in time that you got stalled and you weren't sure where you were going to go? Because I would imagine if your life was set for the military, that it was fairly well planned in a manner of speaking, not to say that there wasn't some flexibility, but one doesn't usually join the military, I don't think, for short-term. And so you had long-term plans. And so now suddenly things needed to change. How long did it take you to kind of set a new path for yourself? And did you just set one, or have you gone down many forks in the road?
Honestly, my many forks took me 10 years. 10 years.
Okay.
It was not a short journey of reinvention. I went to university because somebody suggested that a legally blind person, I'm a mechanic by trade, so there was no market for legally blind mechanics at that time without a driver's license.
That makes sense.
And so university was an option, and I graduated when I was 45. I really thought maybe I'd become a teacher, but in the public school system, not
Okay.
an adult educator. I didn't really know there was such a thing as adult education. And I hit a wall about probably, oh my gosh, 15 years ago now. And I really needed to go and get counseling at that point before I could move forward. So here I am heading into like bankruptcy. And I've also fallen apart emotionally.
Oh dear. Okay. So a double whammy, if you will, in that sense. So you went to university as a mature student, and I think that was one of the things that we connected on, because
Yes.
I did likewise, and realizing that, like you, I was hitting a brick wall and needed to rearrange my life. You mentioned that you were thinking that maybe public school would be your destination at that point. It became adult education, actually, that you're more engaged in now. So tell us a little bit about how that has evolved for you. I mean, I think kudos to you for going and getting counseling. One of the things that I've been just speaking a lot about is that we need to go and find people to support us, whether they be family, friends. I speak a lot about all the self-help books in the library. There's lots of help available, and you actually sought it. So you have to actually take action, don't you?
You got to take action. One of the challenges I was having, I didn't know it at the time until I got, in front of somebody who knew more than I knew about self-help. This is the thing. You can read a lot of books, but there's a time when there is a limit in what you can read. You need somebody else to look at you objectively.
Okay.
My challenge was I was grieving what I had lost. And that
Okay.
grief was acting like an anchor and holding me back. And it was like the universe was saying, not letting you move forward until you deal with this crap.